Hey guys, it's Brandon again. So, a lot of my friends, well, mostly clients, have been asking me if I think Russia and the Ukraine is going to go to war and what does this mean for our investments. Now, it is obviously a crazy time. Since the middle of November until now, we've been hit with so much bad news. It's ridiculous. And the news itself is not good for our health, right? It's always something negative, and it's designed that way so that it can keep people entertained. Things that affect their emotions sell, and that's exactly what the news have done. Now, with all that being said, we have to look at factors, and don't get me wrong, anything is possible, right? But we have to look at factors. Number one is that um, Russia is a superpower, America is a superpower, and they both benefit each other. I did this research a little while back, so the numbers might be off, but I think Russia is the number two or number three supplier of oil to the United States. So, Russia, remember, America is the biggest consumer nation. Everyone does business with America. A lot of places around the world, their pockets are fat because America is giving them money. If Russia decides to invade the Ukraine, that's a lot of money lost to the GDP of Russia. A lot of money wiped out. Yes, a lot of oil will not come to America, but a lot of money will not be going to the Russian uh, economy. Number two, America is one of the biggest technological suppliers to Russia. So the software technology, data technology, America sells those to Russia. Pardon me, to Russia. So if they decide to go to war, right, and America is involved, let's be serious. That's so much money wiped out by both parties. This is just a flex, in my opinion, from Vladimir Putin, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. It's a big flex by him to probably get some sort of negotiation going, stir up something to get exactly what he wants. And sometimes it's just a big distraction from the bigger things that are going out there. For example, inflation is something that is just ridiculous right now, and that is going to keep running high. But I just want to tell people this, right? And this is branching into what it now means for our investments, right? Always keep in mind that war, it has an agenda, and that agenda is not always power. It's more, well, technically it is power, but it's more especially in this day and age, it's more economically motivated and financially driven. That's what war is. But because America and Russia are so they're symbiotic to each other, it's not gonna happen, right? The good book says you'll hear of war and rumors of war, all this stuff. That's what's going on right now. Now, what does this mean for our investments, right? Speaking of inflation, inflation is something that's going to always be here, right? It's never going to go away. Back in the day, my grandfather told me he could have went to the brothel for like $8. Try to go to the brothel with $8 now, you'll get arrested. Gas back then was 10 cents a gallon. Now gas is $3. Candy bars were pennies, $2 for Snicker bars. Now it's crazy what's going on. And that's what's going to keep continually happening. So what I want to tell my friends and by the way, I put out a video about 3 weeks ago talking about the trajectory of the stock market and individual sectors. Go check it out, because what I talked about is exactly what's happening right now. The microscopic jumps and a lot of channel-based activity right now in the markets. So go check that video out. Anyway, bottom line, back to my point, is that inflation is always going to be here. Houses back then, you could have bought like a mansion back then for 50,000. Mansions are millions now. It is the way of the world. So inflation, it is kind of necessary. It creates competition, it creates demand, it creates what's the word I'm looking for? My mind is blank. But yeah, it creates productivity within the economy. So Yes, it sucks in the short term, but we're going to see inflation start trending down and we're going to see it become balanced, especially when the Fed start raising interest rates, right? So things are not going to keep going up forever where you can't survive. As long as you're financially literate, as long as you're saving, investing, building businesses, or if you're working a job, you're saving and investing and buying real estate, you will be fine. There are hedges against inflation. So, yes, it's a scary time, but remember, stay strong, be safe, God bless, take care. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Bye bye.